Dissidia NT was a fascinating game with flawed execution. So a thing about me, I'm a sucker for a good crossover game. The Marvel vs. Capcom games are among my favorite fighting games. I loved Project Cross Zone on the 3DS. I even gave Jump Force the old college try. So you know I was down for a crossover Final Fantasy fighting game. I stayed on Dissidia and its sequel Duodecim on the original PSP, which were 1v1 fighting games that featured the characters of Final Fantasy. The campaigns were decent and the stories were nonsensical, but I didn't care. I was just there to see my favorite Final Fantasy characters throwing hands. The franchise lay dormant after the 2011 release of Duodecim until 2018 when the 2015 Japanese arcade exclusive was ported to PS4 as Final Fantasy Dissidia NT and absolutely flopped. I bought this game at launch and struggled to find matches day one. And I think a big part of this was because they upped the scale from 1v1 to 3v3, so it just required a lot more people to get a match going. Making matters worse is how little offline and single player content they put into the game. See, you needed Memoria to get through the story modes, but you only earn Memoria through completing matches online, and considering how long it took to get in a match, it made completing the story mode just an unnecessary grind. And the greatest shame of it is that there's a really interesting game at the heart of NT. Like, I think of it as the Death Stranding of fighting games. It's a little wonky at first, and the mechanics take a while to wrap your head around, but once you have that, like, Jin Woo, I understand it now moment, it becomes magical. Not to mention, simply as a fan, it has the most gorgeous renderings of many of your favorite Final Fantasy characters from the 8-bit through modern era. But it is a lot to learn, and it's really hard to get your buds in on a 3v3 fighting game that has a low player base and high learning curve. I would really love if the Dissidia franchise got a new release in the vein of the OG games. I think taking it back to 1v1 would make online playability better, and I just miss it. You know, I still play the OG ones on my Vita from time to time, and if anything, would love to see those games at least get a remastered port to PS5 just to reintroduce the franchise to new audiences. Because at the end of the day, this was a very fun series that just never quite got to reach its full potential. Were you a fan of the Dissidia games? Did you play any of them back in the day? Let me know below.